Hello everyone, I'm Dick Wolf for the County Buzz. I'm here with Michael Franklin. Michael Franklin is Vice President of the Franklin County Education Association, and he's just been named to receive, I've got to read this, the Applegate Doros Peace and International Understanding Award from the National Education Association, and he'll be going to, on July 1st, we're at Boston, Massachusetts to receive that award.
Yes, sir.
That's a big deal, Michael.
It's a huge deal.
Congratulations.
I'm still in shock, I gotta tell you that much.
So is this like a Nobel Prize? Are you going to get a lot of money with it, or is it just the
Holy
honor?
cow, I hope so. I hope there's some money with it. Even if there's not, this is a huge honor. It does feel like a Lifetime Achievement Award. I'm 32 years old and I've been working in Honduras for going on 19 years. And I believe probably my work in Honduras has had a lot more to do with my being nominated and receiving this prestigious award rather than just my work in the classroom. Although I think work in the classroom definitely accents why I should receive the award.
Well, you are a Spanish teacher.
That's right.
And so Honduras is a perfect place to stay really tuned up on your skills.
Definitely, especially when you think about the population of Franklin County changing. One of the largest groups of immigrants to the U.S. are from Honduras. And that has a lot to do with the political climate in Honduras being the world's murder capital outside of war zones and just having an economy that doesn't allow anybody to get ahead. So we have a lot of Honduran immigrants right here in Franklin County. So and in my classroom.
Oh, well, that should help that should help.
It should, and it does.
Yeah. Tell us about what you do in Honduras. You've been doing it for 19 years, so obviously you've put in a lot of time there. What do you do and what have you accomplished?
So my role has definitely changed from when I was a 13-year-old kid to now 32-year-old man. A lot changes in your brain, in your body, and your interests change. I started out on medical teams, just being a kind of a manservant for the doctors and for the pharmacists, for the nurses. I would work in the pharmacy a lot, counting pills, and I quickly memorized all the prescriptions in Spanish so I could deliver the information to the patients instead of relying on a translator. And here I am in a Spanish classroom years later. But my role changed. I would used to get so fed up, 14, 15, 16-year-old kid, I'd get so fed up with the fact that as a volunteer coming down to the same areas every year, we saw the same illnesses, and we didn't see a lot of people getting phenomenally better. Now, we save lives. Every single team that goes down on a medical team saves lives. But I didn't see the overall health of communities improving. And so my transition in mission work kind of went from being an assistant to medical teams to leading health education teams. Began to partner with some sustainability groups that were working in Honduras. And Amen, through my leadership and some other volunteers, began a community empowerment program that over the course of 3 years helps community leaders identify the problems in their community, but then question why those are problems and why other communities around the world are go through those same problems. And then they discuss, well, how are we going to fix these problems? And we bring in leaders in HIV/AIDS, we bring in leaders of water purification, we bring in experts in violence prevention and abuse prevention in the home to help communities train to overcome these basic issues that without any safety net can affect us all.
So do you go to the same place every year or the same region?
Definitely the same region. Amen is based in the north coast of Honduras. We have one outstanding team who actually helped manage one of our community development workshops up in the mountains. But we're on the north coast of Honduras, and we work in Garifuna areas and we work in Mosquito areas, and those are two ethnic groups intrinsic to Central America. The Garifuna are descendants of African slaves and some of the Native American tribes in the Caribbean. The British actually shipped the Garifuna from the Caribbean islands to the coast of Honduras because they didn't want them on their newly acquired territory. And then, right. Yeah. Well, something really cool about the Garifuna culture developed as a result. As a result of being moved from their homeland in Africa, moved from their homeland to new homeland in the Caribbean islands and the Lesser Antilles, they were actually moved to the coast of Central America, and now in their culture they will not live more than 10 miles from the coast. So
That's pretty amazing.
just in preparation of a need to depart again.
That's almost a sad story, really.
It's a sad story until you look at the pride and the enormity of their culture. They have their own language, they have their own customs, they live a very poor and meager existence. But it's been life-changing for me to work with the Garifuna people and see how far they're willing to go.
Twice you've mentioned Amen as a principal kind of an organization. Why don't you tell us what that organization is, please?
So the Amen stands for, and everybody will say it wrong when they look at it on paper. Everybody wants to say Amen, which is fine with me. I say Amen sometimes too. But Amen is spelled A-H-M-E-N, and it's the Alabama Honduras Medical Educational Network. Founded in 1998 after Hurricane Mitch devastated the country, and I was on a mission team prior to that. Our group came back and began to start the nonprofit status of Amen. We aren't an NGO in official terms, but definitely not a governmental organization. A nonprofit, just like any church or just like the Kiwanis Club, so to speak, or Rotary.
Let's tell everyone what an NGO is, non-government organization.
Right, non-governmental organization.
So you help, you provide aid, you provide support, but you don't help the government.
Right.
Okay.
We don't work through the government.
I got you. You were correct.
Yeah, thanks for explaining that. And Amen does exactly what you say. We provide a lot of relief in terms of coming into areas and conducting medical brigades, offering free medical care, dental care. But also there are teams who have an economic outlet where they teach sewing, where they teach set up jewelry shops in communities, so the local people have a place to make money and improve their situation in life. Water purification is our #1 goal right now across all teams. A child dies of waterborne illness around the world every 20 seconds.
Oh.
I mean, every 20 seconds. Since we started this interview, 10 kids have died. And to think about that.
From waterborne
illness.
Yeah.
So in Honduras, every single one of our teams now has a purified water aspect to their team.
Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. And then my team, as I said before, does health education.
And I was going to ask you, you seem to be really focused in health. So are you out of the health field yourself, or is that something you're entering into?
I believe in healthcare as a basic fundamental right. I look at my Bible and I look at what Jesus did, and I see the words in there that nobody charged a dime for healthcare. Jesus raised people from the dead, healed people's wounds, and didn't ask anything but obedience to the Lord. So I, from a spiritual aspect, I believe in healthcare, and from a basic civic aspect, looking at the Constitution, I think it's part of our pact with the people.
Okay. Well, it sounds awesome, and I'm so happy you're going to get rewarded for your work. Let's talk about your work here at Franklin County High School.
Definitely.
How many years have you been in Franklin County High School and teaching here, and what's your ambition here?
I want to start off by saying I love working at Franklin County High School. This is it's the best place I've ever worked. I've been here since 2015, I believe. This is my 3rd full year in a row. But I did work as a long-term sub at Huntland and here at Franklin County back in 2011, 2012.
I gotcha.
Really enjoying my service as a public educator and as a Spanish teacher. I love teaching Spanish. I got a history degree in college, and I'm glad I took a few extra Spanish classes because I've never gotten a history job, and I've always gotten a Spanish job. So it's been very fulfilling.
So, are the students aware of your other profession?
They hear me talk about Honduras an awful lot. And at the beginning of the year, my colleagues and I do a kind of a rotation. We bring all of our classes at once down to the auditorium and share what we do in our unprofessional time and our personal time to further our knowledge of the Spanish language and further just our relationship with the world. So Miss Kim Land talks about going to Costa Rica and studying there. Miss Carlotta Jones talks about studying in Costa Rica and studying in Spain. Mr. Roberts, soon to be Dr. Roberts, talks about his travels and his PhD. So the students are aware of our extracurricular activities, and then I do, every chance I get, to try to provide some pictures and videos and some firsthand accounts of my experiences in Honduras too.
Part of this award mentions that you inspire students. So is that how you inspire students, just by interacting with them on your outside extracurricular activities?
I think it's always good for a mentor to show whoever they're working with that they have what they do for a living and that they have their passion. And sometimes those things can coincide, but it's important for students to see that an adult goes to work every day, but then also has another job. I think that's very motivational, and it sets the tone for what they're supposed to be doing in life. Also, in my classroom, we talk about the fact that this is a learning community, that we can only go as fast as the slowest calf, and
that's right.
Everyone's A in here is really tied to everyone's F in here, that we're supposed to be working together.
All right, now, and I'll take off your volunteer hat for Honduras. I'm going to take off your teaching hat. And now tell us, you're Vice President of the Franklin County Education Association. Tell me how that group's getting along here. We had an interview a year or so ago, and everyone was seemed to be on board with the changes in Franklin County. And so how is it today?
Franklin County Education Association has had its biggest victory in years, in all the history that I know of here recently. Of course, I'm only a year or two with membership. The PECA process has finally been approved, and the Board of Education on Tuesday night approved unanimously to support the MOU that we've agreed, that we've negotiated with the school board.
And an MOU is
the Memorandum of Understanding. It has replaced a simple word, contract. But in education, we like to make things more difficult sometimes. So it's our new contract. So before, all of the educators, not just members of the Franklin County Education Association, have been working without any rights. No real understanding what their tie to their employment was. But with this negotiation through FCEA, all the teachers in the county benefit from knowing exactly what their role is at their job.
All right, well, I want to thank you very much for giving us your time today. Congratulations again on that terrific award. You get it July 1st. So, well, ship us a little something, text us something, and we'll put it on our county buzz for you.
I thought you'd be coming there with me.
No, only if there's a lot of cash involved.
Okay.
I'll be your guard.
There we go.
All right, everyone. Thank Michael Franklin, and thank you for watching. I'm Dick Wolf for The Buzz.
Thank you.